There was no stopping him, Jamal, on that open court.
And that's what Coach Johnson said. He said he wants Dylan Harper to get the ball, get the rebound, and attack. He went right by SGA, and SGA had a foul.
Team foul number 4.
Ooh,
got him on the head there as he was swiping towards the ball.
The Afro man saved him a little bit.
Gets it to roll over the front of the rim. Mitch Johnson talked about his really young, talented guard. And Harper talked about how when you get him in space, the talent shows. You can see it on that play. That speed right there. It's so much harder to be physical than anybody when you just can't catch him. And with De'Aaron Fox struggling tonight, 1 of 8, it's been Harper at that off the bench, that point guard position that has stabilized. This is the largest lead of Game 6. Buoyed by a 9-0 San Antonio run. Can the Thunder stop it? Wallace the lob. Harper shot, trying to throw it down. Did not.
Okay, now.
Back the other way. Harper spins around Caruso. All the way.
Not lose these minutes with Wemby sitting on the bench, and SGA is still in the game.
Impressed with the Spurs defense here. Hartenstein couldn't finish this alley.
And that could have been an offensive foul, too, and they let it slide. I mean,
Harper in the open court.
they cannot lose these minutes. Let's fix this real
Mitch
quick.
Johnson loving the defense here by his team. Hey, guys. Vassell 12. Champagny 8 with a couple of threes. Castle with a dozen. Harper with 16. Playing great defense as well. See what's going on. Where we are seeing a young Spurs team answer that first pressure, the summer calls kind of game.
And that's why right now the Spurs are up. Harper has countered the Thunder bench, and then they have SGA under control as well.
Hartenstein.
You got to rotate. You got to rotate.
Making the right passes. The recovery defense has been great.
Keep rotating.
Shot clock at 10.
There we go. There we go. You got to drop it off. You got to drop it off. You got a 3-on-1, dog.
Good defense by Wallace.
J-Dub off that right leg. The left one is the one that's hurt. SGA
He got away with a travel. That's good. Ooh.
SGA was playing twister.
Come on, man.
It is an 11-0 run.
You got to make it make sense. It's 11-0 run, and Wemby bucket.
13-0 run.
Good defense, and good defense. You do not need to overhelp. Good defense. That's good. Okay. They comfortable. Harper looked different this game. Oh, that's a step back. That's good. Cornette with the board. He got it. Dang it. They cannot let SGA catch a rhythm and all that. They up by 21 right now. Keep your foot on the gas. We need good shots right now.
Push it faster.
Left in the third. One thing about this game is they are winning the minutes where Wemby is sitting down. Ooh, man. It's a good game, though, for San Antonio. It's going as expected. What I do not like is the settling for threes. You can get a good three-point shot anytime you want to. Just run the right set screens, run hard through those screens. But if you're just coming down jacking, you're going to get out of your rhythm, and then SGA and then OKC, they're going to find theirs. So make sure you stay within your offense. You push when it's necessary. You back it out when it's necessary. You stay in control of everything at all times. That is the most important thing in this game. You cannot lose control. And if it gets to a point where OKC gets 5, 6, 7 in a row, you need a timeout immediately. we're not coming out of this timeout looking for a three. You're not coming out of this timeout looking for a three. You're coming out looking for a way to attack the basket. Now, we're going to be able to see is, okay, Wemby's back on the floor. SGA is not.
Use the college term for the way this team treats its best. And you went up against Manu. You know what that was like.
Well,
can we attack the rim?
He was the person I studied to try to be
okay. Champagne puts it on the floor, gets to the cup. Like I said, you cannot settle for a three out of a timeout like that. You come down, get a great shot. 15-0 run for the last 4 minutes, going back to the 8-minute mark.
That's been something that's been an issue here throughout this series.
You got to keep them in front of you. Yep. I don't like that three. I don't like that three because it disrupted the flow of everything you've been doing. I don't like that three by Champagne. He been hitting though. Yep. McCain getting away with some stuff. Isaiah Joe should have got some more minutes. He too good of a shooter to be sitting over there. As I say that, he misses one. All right, Wemby bringing it up. 3 minutes left in the third. Oof. He tried to get the bump on Chet. Turnover. McCain getting away with that push-off, bro. He's getting away with that push-off every time. He getting away with that push-off every single time they go up the court. Goodness gracious. Somebody please call that.
There's the crossover here on Chet. Just kind of loses his balance in the ball. I think everyone always holds their breath here in this building when Victor heads to the floor.
Injury struggles they went through the first couple of seasons.
What's going on? What's going on? What happened?
And then you see Vassell saying, calm down, young fella. Finish the game the right way. There's a lot of time left. Let's just keep playing and keep going. You need those vets. And Vassell's a young vet, right? But he plays the spirit. He plays
88-64.
He's had a game tonight.
Second longest tenured Spurs.
I'm not even gonna say it's gonna be. I'm not gonna say it's gonna be a game 7 just yet because it's the NBA. Things can turn on a dime.
Started with the Spurs defense, now self-inflicted.
And this, if you're the Spurs, maybe see Fox get a basket or two.
Yeah.
To kind of get rhythm, right?
Isn't he the last link to really get going?
Yes, he is.
Of main players here for the Spurs.
Campedino, Harrison Barnes checks in, Vet keeps it alive. De'Aaron Fox saves it right in front of us and does not go back court.
Attack. Get it off the glass. Okay. We don't need no bad shots right now. We don't need that. They putting it on the floor.
Through the tulips right there.
He got the footwork of my daughter London right there. She's a ballet.
James is our cameraman here at midcourt.
You know what I love?
Unbelievable.
This is an NBA head coach. I don't know if y'all can see that. NBA head coach got tablets. He has all types of technology at his disposal. This man has a trifold piece of copy paper with diagrams, notes, lineups, and everything like that on it. That's how you know somebody's in love with the process. He got all the bells and whistles, but he's still taking his notes, being meticulous, got note cards and everything like that on his hand. I love to see stuff like that. I love to see it.
Well, Rich, it's either now,
it is,
or maybe you just put him on the bench for the fourth quarter like they did in the other blowout. Just let's save some tread on the tire for Game 7.
And you know Coach Mardagno's always playing chess, right? There's always something he's looking at. He's so smart. There's something he's always got his mind working and trying to figure out whether it's for now or for later.
26-point Spurs lead.
We don't need anything senseless right here. Good defense. Good defense. Okay. You don't need it, brother. You don't need it. And this is what's disappointing about Fox. He should know this. He should know this as a veteran PG.
continue.
What is SGA shooting right now? 6 of 18. And this is what happens, okay, when you do not foul SGA, okay? When you don't foul him and he's struggling, he can't catch a rhythm. It's not about the flop, and this is why I tell people, not everything is about the flopping, getting to the free throw line, the amount. It's the fact that he has a rhythm. So when he wants to come down, get a great shot, he's not going to find it. So what does he have to do? He goes to the step back. He goes into his bag. Now when he goes to that step back, he has no rhythm. Okay? He has no rhythm available to him, so he's going to shoot 6 for 18. When he has a rhythm, basket, so when that step back, when he gets to that step back, he's not shooting 6 for 18. He's shooting 12 for 21. 20-0. The game was 72-64. I mean, good drop off from Joe, but like I said, I think he should be getting more minutes. I think he should be getting. I like, hey, McCain coming in doing his job, but. Castle with the board, 92-66. They're finishing this quarter on a 20-2 run. All right, they're about to double the ball. Fox gets it. Wemby gets it. He's probably going. Oh! Good block by Chet. And you don't close the quarter on a good shot. And you don't close the quarter on a good shot. So what we got? Good block by Wemby to end the third. Good block. All right, they finished the quarter on a 20-2 run. I mean, come on now. Come on now. Yeah, there was a little foul. He got away with one. He got away with one.
Bring on the fun and bring.
But one thing we're going to have to look at the end of the game, did they win the Wemby minutes where he was on the bench? I know they did well when SGA was off the floor, so that's important because the last game, OKC got off. they got off in those minutes. Was that game 3? They had like 76 bench points or something like that. So they got off in those minutes too. So making sure you're winning the minutes. I'll say this. Make sure you win the minutes when SGA is off the court and still be competitive or play even when Wemby is off of the court. Because when he goes to the bench, you already know what you're giving up at the other end. I mean, Luke Cornett, he's serviceable. He's been coming in, doing his job, doing his ass on to the best of his ability. But when he checks in the game, it is Olay defense. Everybody's getting through. And I think that takes a little bit of the luster out of the perimeter defense when you know, okay, I don't have that backside help there, so I got to take a step off maybe. That's the change that I'm seeing when Wemby goes to the bench. The pressure on SGA, the pressure on Caruso and Case and Wallace, you take a step back knowing Wemby isn't there. Give him a little bit more room to operate, a little bit more room to get comfortable. So that's what I've been seeing in those minutes. This game, not tonight. Not tonight. The intensity stayed there. The pressure stayed there. They're being physical, but it's not in a sense where I'm going to stick my forearm in there, get clinched up, so when SGA goes up for a shot, now it's a foul. Situation where I'm not getting tangled up with Caruso on the way to the basket because if they clinch up, it's going to be a foul. I'm not allowing them to bump, and I'm flailing and stuff like that and getting off balance. Now he has an open look. They're staying strong through the contact. They're staying strong defensively, moving their feet. One thing I will say is I like this crew, as far as the referees go, better than the other one, simply because, and it has nothing to do with, the flop or anything like that. I feel like there's more dialogue, there's more communication. It's a respect factor between players and referees. I mean, I don't see that when Tony Brothers is the crew chief. All right, I don't see that when Scott Foster is the crew chief. And I guarantee you, Game 7, we could have a Scott Foster signing. All right, it could be Scott Foster on the crew. I got to see who they pick, but if it's Scott Foster, if it's Tony Brothers, it's a problem. Game 7 is going to be interesting to say the least. But like I said, Wemby's minutes on the bench, SGA's minutes on the bench are very important. Making runs, okay? Making sure you're making runs. You finished the third on a 20-2 run, okay? And you get a stop. So now you're up 92-66 versus going into the fourth quarter down up 4 or up 5 or, up 10. That looks a little different.
Their team offered a 32.
Okay, OKC opens up in the zone in the fourth quarter to start. You cannot fall in love with the 3 here. Okay, they looks like they got out of the zone a little bit. They dig on Wemby, turn fade. Don't like it.
Johnson and Lou Dort punching back and forth, slapping at each other. That was back behind the play. McCain trying to heat up.
All right, now
It's that shot.
your offense freezes up, and you give up a 3 on the other end to start the fourth. Let's see what this zone does to them. All right, you bring Williams up to guard Wemby at the top. The OG Harrison Barnes with a 3.
And then you wonder how long Wemby, Fox, and Castle will be out there.
Castle got hit up by the mouth as he was tied up with McCain. But he was the one fouling McCain. It's a chance of the three-point play. The field goal make by Barnes was his second of this playoff series. And the Spurs would like a second look at that. So the foul was called for the arm on McCain, and then he got hit up by the
All right,
face
so
of
they're going to
Castle.
challenge
So
the call.
the second
McCain
final
was
challenge.
driving to the basket, swiped back with his right arm, caught Castle in the chin. This is probably going to get overturned from an and-one to offensive foul. But, man, that zone, I don't want to see let me mute this real quick. I don't want to see San Antonio come down and settle for threes, settle for jump shots just because they're showing you a zone. It looked kind of like a matchup zone. And then there's a concept in a zone to where you can swap places, throughout the schematics of the zone. You can swap positions but still maintain the concept of the zone. It looks like they're playing a matchup zone right now, and based on who's in what area. So if Wemby's up top, I'm moving Williams up. I don't want Wemby shooting over Isaiah Joe. I don't want Wemby shooting over McCain. That looks different than him shooting over Jalen Williams. So now we're bringing Jalen Williams up. We're sending Kendrick Williams to the corner. Now we're dropping Isaiah Joe. So they're swapping positions but still maintaining the concept of a 2-3 zone. So one thing that I say about San Antonio in this situation is, can we get slips to the rim? Can we use the fact that Wemby carries so much gravity, bringing Jalen Williams out from the basket? If I catch on the wing, I'm not shooting. I'm catching on the wing. I'm ripping through. You can go baseline, you go to the middle. The middle is more ideal because when you rotate on the 2-3 zone, they're cutting off baseline, okay? So also, when you cut off baseline, the guy who's guarding the corner, if somebody 45 cuts, which means I'm cutting from the wing diagonally through the lane. That's what a 45-degree angle, right? If I can get guys making that cut off of a rip through from the opposite side of the court, now we can get things moving in the 2-3 zone, make things uncomfortable for them defensively, right? So you got to be able to put pressure on the middle. There's more than one way to get them out of a zone. You don't have to jack up threes. And I think that's the concept of young players and young teams. If you shoot a 2-3 zone, all right, we got to start jacking up threes. We got to make our open shots. No. You maintain proper spacing. You catch, make a read, rip through, and attack. We need 45 cuts all day long. You get 45 cuts going, And then you have guys that can knock down a shot. So if you get a 45 cut, right, that diagonal cut through the lane, and you get it in the middle, and they decide to come up, pick you up, right? If you can make that swing, that's an option. You can make the float game, that's an option. But there's more than one way to crack this egg. And I don't like the fact that teams see a 2-3 zone automatically got to jack up shots. Get that out of your mind, okay? San Antonio, they up by 24 right now. Let's see what they made on the call.
Spurs challenge, and they lost.
They lost the challenge? Wait a minute.
Basketball played by McCain as he was driving. Natural act, seen at real speed. So no foul, lose the timeout, lose the challenge. And McCain's coming to the line for two.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. He swipes back like this. He hits Castle in the mouth.
I think we're 0 for 3 tonight.
But you know what, guys?
And after he gets hit, Castle stumbles.
Yes.
So keep your head up.
Redeem ourselves.
Review the tape tonight.
They would have thought we were the Three Stooges making these.
What?
Film session for all
What?
this morning. We'll be ready to go.
What? Yeah, they tripping.
They're in that zone again. Seeing what they can disrupt.
Yep, Castle's making cuts through the middle of the lane. He's catching in the middle. Yep, good shot. That's a good shot. Now, I don't like Keldon Johnson shooting that, but they got the ball to the middle. Immediately, Wemby dove to the basket and took somebody with him. Immediately. That's the type of shot that we can say, all right, we'll live with. But I don't want Keldon Johnson being the one to shoot that shot. Turnover OKC, 23-point lead for Spurs, 10.5 left in the fourth. All right, they put Harper in the corner. They put Castle on the wing. They put Wemby on the box.
They're going to do it. Look at the middle. Look where Harper is. He flashed too.
Great pass from Castle. They thought Wemby was going to cut up. He didn't. Stayed by the basket. Castle faked it through the lob. That's an easy one. That's an easy one. Yep, that's an easy one.
King will come to the line. It's the guy who took a couple of the shots, especially the one that was upgraded at the end of Game 5.
Just point to the rim. Talk about Castle, Wemby. We're going to be seeing a lot of this for years to come. And this elbow is above the rim, Jamal.
It's ridiculous. And that's there most times, right? It's up to the guard to take that extra dribble or get that attention.
And McCain, I
Right
mean,
here.
what are you going to do about
Steph Castle attacking the basket? He points up.
I know Philly already fired Daryl
Good
Morey.
pass.
Okay? I know they fired Daryl Morey, but
You mentioned seeing a lot of it, Reg. Wembanyama, 22 years old, passing 21.
how do you get this type of production back? Like how do you make up for losing a player that's playing like this in the conference finals? I mean,
Is it their time?
Well, there won't be another NBA team to be able to do that in 3 straight years because of the new tanking rules.
OG for 3. Harrison Barnes knocked down another one, 174, 9.5 left.
In this fourth quarter. And again, it's one more thing. 26-point game. What's being proven at this point? As Dort misfires.
They went back to the strategy of having Wemby guard whoever's in the corner.
A few times, like Barnes just did.
You might have to take Dort out. I mean, if you plan on making a comeback this game, I'm taking Dort out, and I'm putting somebody else in that can knock down that 3. He might have to take Chet. I mean, Chet put him in the game. All right, 9:20 left, 26-point lead. Wemby is going to the bench. SGA is also on the bench for the Thunder. We'll see what these minutes look like for San Antonio.
Johnson would love to see his team keep the pedal down. Cornet.
Live from Harper to Cornet. They run a pick and roll out of the match against the matchup zone. There go to none. 77-102.
On the end of that, too. I think we do on Dort. So the officials trying to keep clean the back.
Let's see what the foul situation is in this game.
Now both sides you want to be smart. Make sure you don't do anything to affect availability for a game 7.
12 on San Antonio, 16 on another one from OG.
I'm talking about game 6s. And on on the Thunder side, remembering game
All right,
6
12 fouls on San Antonio, 16 on OKC. So it's not like a.
Good extension.
It's not too bad.
Thunder have had some positive and negatives on this very day in history, playing game 6s. Good hands by Johnson to knock it away. Harper back at Isaiah.
Please finish. The game is.
For Golden State.
So we -3 right now. San Antonio is -3, and the Wemby off the court minutes.
And Harrison Barnes on the floor right now is on the floor.
We got and one from Castle. We got an and one from Castle.
Extends the lead again to 25.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Castle to Lou Dort. There's the move.
That's an
There's the
and
slap
one.
across the head by Dort, but the reaction afterwards. Look at Castle. He is animated while he's on the deck.
And
Castle has played
is having a conversation
phenomenal
with him.
basketball
You guys lived this.
since bringing
There's
De'Aaron
been
Fox back into the lineup.
away from the play,
I mean,
while
since
we're
getting
really
Fox
good
back in the lineup, I think he's only averaging what?
and the players.
He missed the first 2 games. Let me see.
But
Game.
understanding we are headed towards a game 7, and to your point, Mike, you don't want to do anything crazy.
I mean,
dumb,
1,
idiotic
2,
to take yourself
5,
out of a game 7.
6. So he's
The
averaging
officials doing a
2.
good job of-
He's averaging 2 turnovers a game since De'Aaron Fox is back in the lineup.
in the chat.
Since De'Aaron Fox is back in the lineup, he's had 2 turnovers a game. He's got 9 assists tonight and 1 turnover.
Tonight, McCain deep 3 is off. Carter Bryant gets
Number 1, throw the lob, Castle.
Fournette keeps it alive. Fouled by
I
Isaiah.
will say this, all right, after that compliment, let's talk about this. Castle is the worst 2-on-1, 3-on-1 player in this series. He's not throwing the lob. He's not throwing the lob.
Foul on the arm.
Jack home.
What's Cornette doing?
That's not the same thing like
Hey, woo, 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 woo. Like it was the Arsenio Hall crowd back in the day. Woo, woo, woo.
I didn't have Arsenio on the bingo card tonight. This is what I was talking about before. Here's Zach Zarba talking to Castle. Tyler Ford was over by Dort and then continued the conversation. One of the great things veteran officials do is identify it before it becomes a problem.
And did you see how he got in the middle of it too? Just to make sure he was identifying both partners. He was listening. He was observing. Again, outstanding crew here tonight.
And like every fan of their home team complains about every call didn't go our way. Have you ever heard a fan after their team wins and said, you know what, we got a great whistle tonight? It's just part of the nature of being a fan. It's fun and we get it. But you have great respect for the guys who work so hard at their craft and try to make sure the game is played well as Isaiah Joe hits a 3.
All right, so we got an 8 to 6. We -2 and Wemby off the court minutes.
Important games in the season. If you ask them in December, January, it'd be like the 5 guys you want to see come out in a big game. It's a lot of the officials you're seeing this time of year.
Good move by Keldon Johnson. Good move.
82. Every phase of the game, Spurs making a statement here tonight.
But the Spurs here, this unit on the floor, you want to continue to press because you don't want to give any of these guys, because all these guys on the floor for the Thunder are going to be active for game 7. You don't want to give them any life. Make sure they stay out of rhythm.
Bryant out of the corner. And on the rebounding action, foul is called. We'll stay down here as they had a piece of Cornette.
Let's see. So he sat the first. SGA sat the first 6 minutes of a second.
Wembanyama and SGA on each side, guys. Very likely to stay there for the balance of this game and fuel up for Saturday night. Nikola Topic checking in. 6'6" first-year player out of Serbia who has played 16 minutes in these playoffs. Might see a little less than half that here in Game 6. Keldon Johnson takes it to 9 points on the night.
This is how Kelvin Johnson can get his rhythm going for game seven, right?
They're being a bully right now in the paint, Red.
Yeah, he's going to be counted on.
Wendy Waters has checked in.
Yeah, this one's cooked. This game is over.
Rebound. Kelly Olynyk and Bismack Biyombo getting ready to check in. Barnes.
Oh, they got the Bash brothers coming into the game.
Waters with
They
Longman.
putting
Bryant, Johnson right back to Barnes. Everybody touched it.
Oh. If I was Dagnon, I'm taking McCain out because I think they got Leonard and Biyombo coming back into the game.
And foul. We're at the 5:15 mark. You guys surprised at what's happening out here tonight? 28-point game.
Well, look, when you're facing elimination, you got to come with your best game. The Spurs were desperate tonight. There's game 7, Saturday. Tip, 8:15, everything's on the table. All those scouting reports that led up to this moment here, you can throw them out. Who wants it more?
And I'm not surprised at all. I just figured that the Spurs would come out desperate. They knew they were going home. If they did not come with that same energy and focus that they would need to push this thing to a game 7.
Here's the problem. You never want to leave anything for chance in a game 7. People expect the
How many game 7 you played in?
Quite a few. Won, lost. I mean, he's only had one game where he shot 50%, and that was 12 for 24. And I believe game 2. Every other game has been a struggle for him. I know he had 32 points in game 5, but 16 of those came from the free throw line. He didn't shoot the ball particularly well.
Probably not coming back in. He's got 15 points. It'll be his lowest point total of the season as Kenrich Williams misses on the drive.
And now it's how you win. The Spurs, they throttled them here. So now everything shifts towards them as being a team that has a great chance to win game 7.
Travel on Carter Bryant. It's part of the 6 of 18 night.
And just watch how he was defended. It always attracts attention. Misses those chip shots, those bunnies he usually gets. Seeing the crowd, never got in the rhythm. They kept him off balance. They were into his airspace.
All right, man. So it's looking ugly. This game is cooked. This game is completely cooked. The Spurs are going to win this game. They're going to push it to a game 7. We're going to see game 7 in OKC. All right. So let's talk about a couple things. All right. Number 1, let's get this out of the way now. Let's talk about the fouls. Okay. So right now, OKC sitting at 19 fouls. San Antonio sitting at 13. So there's going to be a whole conversation about the lopsided officiating. We're going to have that whole conversation again. Spurs go 19 of 22 from the free throw line. OKC goes 11 for 12. Okay, so they lose that battle by what, 8? That's going to be a whole conversation, and it happens every game. And this is what I say. Every single game, and I said it about San Antonio. You could talk about the fouls. You could talk about the officiating, the flopping, the physical play. You could talk about all of that, okay? The game looks different. For example, last game, when we're looking at San Antonio versus OKC, right? Everybody talked about, the officiating, the foul calls, and all that other stuff. OKC played better than San Antonio if you remove the fouls. Wemby shot, he shot 4 for 15, but let's talk it. Let's go through this whole thing. Okay, let's go through the whole conversation. All right. The fouls this game for the Oklahoma City Thunder was 19 to San Antonio's 13. The game is still going on, but it's pretty much over. 19 to 13. San Antonio shot 19 of 22 from the free throw line. OKC shot 11 for 12. That's not just the important part. Everybody says, it's the fouls, it's the fouls. A bulk of the shots. He's 6 for 18 tonight. You have Lou Dort, 2 for 9. You go 2 for 6 if you're Jalen Williams. Like, it's more than just the officiating. You still have to shoot the ball well. You still have to be efficient with the ball. Let me see. What are 11 turnovers for OKC? 11 turnovers for San Antonio. But you look at San Antonio's side. Wemby was 10 for 21 tonight, not 4 of 15. Castle was 5 of 10 tonight. Champagny was 4 of 8. Vassell was 4 of 7 instead of 2 for 11. Like, you're shooting better. Dylan Harper, he had, 1 turnover tonight versus 3. He had 18 points and was 6 for 9 from the field. He wasn't 1 for 5. Like, the game looks different. The only one whose game looked the exact same tonight was De'Aaron Fox, but he still has 7 assists and 0 turnovers. It's not just about the officiating. It's not just about the fouls. Y'all got to stop putting so much onus on the refs to bail you out of some bad situations. You already know if you're playing in San Antonio, you're not going to get a bulk of the calls. OKC and San Antonio play the exact same style. That's why we knew this would be a 7-game series. We knew it was going 7 because we already know what type of basketball they play. So if you're in San Antonio, you're not going to get that. I mean, we already knew this. If you're in Miami, if you watch the Miami Heatles, okay, from 2010 to 2014, we've seen this movie. You're not getting the calls in San Antonio. That's just how it goes. We know that. You're not getting the calls in OKC. We've seen it for the past 2 or 3 years. So just stop doing that. All right. People that carry this loser mindset like we lost the game. It's the ref's fault. I hate that because you're never going to be a player or athlete on the team and say, we only lost this game because of the refs, but SGA shooting 6 for 18 had absolutely nothing to do with it. That just doesn't make sense to me. I mean, look, Chet, he 4 for 8, 11 rebounds, 2 blocks, but he had 10 points. Why does Chet only have 8 shot attempts? Your second best player on the basketball court right now. He has, let me see. Let me make sure I have this correct. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. He has the 5th most shot attempts on the basketball court, and you need to balance out the impact of Wembanyama. Now, we talked about fouls, turnovers, shooting percentage. Let's just get straight to the performance. Like I said, SGA 6 of 18. That's not gonna cut it. Hartenstein 5 of 10, 5 rebounds. I mean, you're really asking him to make Wemby uncomfortable. All right, that's really all you're not looking for points or anything like that out of him. You're watching his foul total, playing aggressive, playing hard. His floater is crazy right now. Knock down that floater whenever you can. Dort 2 of 11, 1 for 9 from 3. When he's on the court, he's a good defender, but you need him to knock down threes to be a threat on the basketball court to give SGA some room to operate. Who else? Caruso 3 of 7. You limited his impact on the game tonight. 7 points, 3 of 7 from the field, only hit 1 3. Cason Wallace was a menace. He had back-to-back possessions. They're going down on fast break. He literally just grabbed the basketball out of somebody's hands both times. Backpedaling, only one back, protecting the rim. He just took the basketball out of somebody's hands both possessions. I like him as a defender. I mean, he had 3 steals tonight, 11 points, 4 of 6 from the field, 3 threes. But I'm going to always go back to this. If you lose a game in the playoffs, and your first thing is the officials were the problem instead of looking at the fact that SGA shot 6 of 18, I don't know how to convince you that take is idiotic. He went 0 for 5 from 3, only got 3 free throws. I mean, he was not playing well all night. You look at the flip side, Vassell, 12 points, 4 of 7 from 3. Champagny, 2 of 6 from 3, but he had 4 of 8 from the field, 10 points. Wemby, 28 points, 10 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, 3 blocks. Great game from him. He knocked down 4 threes. I don't like the fact that he took 9, but he had it going early, so I understand. Castle, 5 of 10 from the field, 7 of 8 from the free throw line, 5 rebounds, 9 assists, 1 steal, 1 turnover. Since Fox has returned to the lineup, he's only averaging 2 turnovers per game. Complete turnaround. Fox is still being Fox. All right. Yeah, it's 5 rebounds, 7 assists, but a shot isn't going. 1 for 9. Terrible. All right. Trash. Keldon Johnson, 4 of 7. Efficient. All right. 1 turnover. I like that. 9 points. You get 18 from Dylan Harper. 6 rebounds, 4 assists. He had his mojo going. He was 6 from 9. All right. Everybody was efficient. Cornette played 13 minutes tonight. I don't care what percentage he shot. Really don't care about the rebounds or anything like that. Only thing I care about is when he's in the game for those minutes. These are not Olay minutes. These are not Olay minutes. I don't want to see run after run after run to the basket. All right, I don't want to see that. Let's see. Excuse me. Let's see. Box score. Now, they don't have these minutes up yet, but I would love to see the breakdown of when SGA was off the court and Wemby was off the court, because that's another key to this series that keeps getting, thrown under the radar. Okay, so let me see. Wemby was off the court. Let me see. 5-1. Now it coincides. SGA was still on the basketball court. All right, so we'll go to the 5-minute mark when Wemby checked out. He checked back in at the 1-minute mark, and SGA was still in the game at this point. All right, SGA played the entire first quarter. So in these minutes, you have on OKC side, they were 3 of 7, 42% from the field. San Antonio was 6 for 8. Okay, San Antonio was 6 for 8 in these minutes. You are not getting destroyed in that time span, okay? That's very important. Now, let's look at the SGA side. What was OKC doing when SGA was off of the court? So he came back into the game, second quarter, 6-minute mark. Okay, so let me see. And then it looked like Wemby was still in the game at this point. What did those minutes look like for OKC? OKC, 6 for 12, 8 for 12, okay? You lose those minutes based on the fact that, you're looking at shooting percentage, stuff like that. But I'm pretty sure, let me see. OKC knocked down 2 threes. 1, 2, 3. OKC knocked down 3 threes. San Antonio like that. But let's see what happened when Wemby went to the bench in the second quarter. It was 8:47 to 6:17. Let me see. Let's get those minutes right there. Okay, game went final. Series tied. 3-3 going back to San Antonio. 118 to 91. 118 to 91. But this is what I'm talking about, all right? When you look at the minutes when Wemby is off the court in the second quarter, what does the game look like? 3 or 4, 2 or 4, right? You're still hovering around. OKC's knocking down a couple threes. So we're looking at 3, 6, 8. We're looking at 2. So 5 points. 5 points in that span. Not too bad. But the idea is that when Wemby goes to the bench, can you keep it close? Can you make sure you're not giving away 10-0 runs? Can you make sure you're not giving away 8-0 runs? Can you not give up free lanes to the basket? Vassell, Castle, Harper, move your feet. Stay in front of guys. Move your feet. Stay in front of guys. The biggest run of the game was to end the third quarter. See, right here. And we'll go from, I think it was around the 8-minute mark. Okay, in that span, in that span, to end and this goes back to how dominant San Antonio's defense was. They were only 5 for 13 in that span, and they had no 3-pointers, okay? No 3-pointers, 5 for 13. You go 1 for 15. And let me see, just to make sure. All right, SGA only sat 2 minutes in the third quarter. Okay, he sat from the 4-minute mark to the 2-minute mark. That's terrible if you're OKC. You cannot have that stretch. Again, your best player's on the court for most of those minutes. I mean, in the third, 3 of those minutes, Wemby was on the bench. So from the 7-minute mark to the 4-minute mark, right? So you're looking at Let me see. Let's make sure this is accurate. 7-minute mark to the 4-minute mark. No Wemby minutes, all right? You're still 0 for 7. You missed 4 threes and three trips to the basket. Wemby is not there. That's very important for San Antonio because if you're having situations where Wemby's out of the game, you're keeping them away from the basket still, you're not making Blue Cornet a liability in that scenario. I mean, this was a great win for San Antonio. I know there's going to be some complaints about the fouls, but like I said, there's several factors here that we need to key in on. Fouls, 19, was it? Let me see. Fouls was 21 to 14. Turnovers, you had 12 turnovers for San Antonio, 12 turnovers for OKC. Shooting percentage, I mean, look, Dort, 2 of 11, 4 of 11 from McCain, 6 of 18 for SGA. Overall, they shot 36.8% from the field. You look at San Antonio, 4 of 7, 4 of 8, 10 of 21, 5 of 10, 6 of 9, 4 of 7. You're shooting 46%. So there's a 10% difference in San Antonio's attempts and OKC's attempts. I mean, you can't blame everything on the refs. If you're going to shoot terrible on top of not getting calls, there goes the game. Like I said, turnovers was even. Shooting percentage was the difference in this game. Fouls, I mean, 11 to 12 for OKC, 21 to 25. So there's 10 points difference right there. But you lose by what? 18 plus 9 to 27. So you're saying you lose by 27 points based on 10 free throws. That can't be the only answer. That can't be the only answer. There has to be other reasons you lose this game. Looking ahead to Game 7, okay? I will say it again. The important things in Game 7 to watch is when SGA is on the bench and when Wemby is in the game during that period of time. Then the other factor that you got to pay attention to is when Wemby is on the bench, what does their defense look like versus OKC? Because, like I said, Luke Cornet is your only defense at the rim, okay? It's your only defense. So what do those minutes look like? We also got to talk about turnovers, fouls, and shooting percentages. The fouls are going to be lopsided based on where you're at. It's the playoffs. These are two great teams. The fouls are going to be lopsided. When you look at the side of OKC, right? Are the others knocking down shots? Tonight, Dort wasn't. Caruso didn't have a big night from 3. Cason Wallace played well, but he wasn't on fire, right? McCain, good night, but he wasn't on fire. What are the others going to be looking like in Game 7? What is the young guys like Harper, Castle, Vassell, what are they going to look like in Game 7? Wemby, he's expected to be Wemby. Fox, he's expected to be better than 1 for 9. I expect him to be better than 1 for 9. He's been great facilitating the ball. We've seen that, but no turnovers at an astronomical rate for San Antonio. That's how they're going to stay in the game. Then you got to look at game of runs. Tonight, San Antonio started the game on a run. OKC responded, but this time around, San Antonio did not panic. If you're on the road, young team, never been there, Game 7, trip to the NBA Finals on the line, you come out, you go on a run. Are you going to panic when they respond? If OKC goes on a run, is it going to balloon to a 20-point lead? Or are you going to respond? Get it back in 1-5. Get it back within 4. Get it back within 1. Tie the game. Let's take good shots. Because one thing about tonight is they didn't have to pay when they took bad shots because OKC did not shoot the ball great. SGA didn't shoot it well from the field. So they're not making you pay tonight, but they will in Game 7. They most definitely will in Game 7, and SGA's whistle is going to be back to the way it was when you were in Game 5. You got to be mindful of that. You've got to be mindful. So all the stuff that slid tonight, being extra physical and things like that, it's not going to slide in Game 7. You got to understand, yeah, this is San Antonio, OKC, 2 of the best teams in the league, the 2 best teams in the league, trip to go to the NBA Finals, but the Knicks are on the other side of this, okay? The Knicks are on the other side. I remember there was a conversation on Gil's Arena, okay? The conversation was, If you want to beat a team, you have to destroy that team. You cannot give it a chance. You cannot leave it up to the officials. You can't have lingering doubt on who's going to come out of this game, because the NBA is still a business. Let's be honest. The NBA is still a business. So at the end of the day, Wemby, phenomenal. Potential face of the league. SGA, 2-time MVP, 1-time finals MVP, champion, clutch player of the year. I mean, having that go against the New York Knicks in the NBA Finals, come on now. We got to follow the money. So let's not be crazy about this. If San Antonio wants to win Game 7 in OKC, they got to beat the dog mess out of OKC to get that dub. You know, everybody know I'm right about that. All right, let's not play with it. But like I said, man, Thunder 91, Spurs 118, series tied 3-3, going back to San Antonio. That's one more for the good guys, man.